O king, my king, think of yourself as if you were a lake. Now, being that lake, you have a surface and you have a depth. Now, the greater depth you have, the calmer your surface should be, as is a general rule on this planet. But suppose you are that lake. Is your surface rippling or is it still? If your surface is rippling, then you're being disturbed. But if it's still, you're remaining calm. And in doing so, you're listening to God. So the question is, are you being still? Are you listening to God? 1. Now, being still does not mean to silence the emotions or become a stoic or not feel. Emotions are good. They are like your salt, as Jesus Christ told us 3 times in the 4 Gospels. We have to have this salt because we do not have as much merit with God as when our hearts love Him as well as the other faculties, the mind, the will, and the soul. If our hearts do not love Him, but the other 3 faculties do, then we are torn asunder from ourselves. We must love God with all of our faculties. That includes the emotions. 2. Blessed Catherine Ann Emmerich says, at the origin of creation, all the angels were made, and then it's like nothing passed by, and then 1/3 of them were fallen, and it left a gap in heaven for each of the fallen angels, and that gap was supposed to be filled up by the creation of mankind. And Satan interfered with this creation, interfered with the process of this gap, because he believes that those places in heaven belong to him and his own. However, we have to be those that make up the gap, which means there's a place reserved in heaven for all of us. Now, whether this is true or not shouldn't matter, because we can profit from such information. Such it is to have faith. 3. Vice stirs us like that lake. We are being stirred by winds overhead, which is spirituality, but by tremors underneath, which is the emotion. And the demons will most often use emotions to try to get at us because they are a strong point in rhetoric. But we are all given a test of strength to prove that we have to want to get into heaven. We have to want to take our place there. 4. So it is prudent for us that we keep those things which make us strong, and we discard those things which weaken us. 5. I have to remind you, O King, that being like a child proves nothing. Work needs to be done. However, a childlike naivety is a weapon. We can use that fearlessness we have to demand that God's work be done, and the holier we are, the more successful we will be. 6. Prayer is the foundation of good works. It is like a well you draw water from to last you throughout the day. And if you start the day with no water, you're going to become parched, and vice will have an even greater weapon against you. Your prayer is like your arsenal, how many bullets you have in your chamber. If you don't load your chamber, you will have no bullets, and you'll be defenseless. So pray. 7. Likewise, the routine use of the sacraments is also like a well or like your gun being loaded, although tragically this resource is getting limited in our time. Therefore, we're going to have to rely on prayer, especially the recitation of our daily rosary. 8. Failure is bound to occur because there's no way we could express worthiness without adversity. And unless we were the Virgin Mother, we are going to probably fail at some time or other. Even the disciples stumbled. 9. We cannot embrace failure simply to escape the torments of shame. Therefore, it is okay to fail, but it's never okay to embrace failure. 10. It's always easier to fall and stronger to rise. Strength is our objective. 11. Rewards gotten on earth merit nothing for heaven, so we have to chase those silent victories that are witnessed by nobody, because at least those ones that are witnessed by no other human, they're witnessed by your guardian angel and by God, and will add to your testimony when you stand before God at judgment. Therefore, my King, pursue those silent victories. 12. When our thoughts are loud and distracting, sing those Psalms of David. Meditate on what pursuits are holy. It doesn't matter what we do, whether it appears like slacking or it appears like productivity, because in productivity we can be slacking, and in slacking we can be productive. That is to say that if you are engaged in an activity that's commonly seen as leisurely, it is possible to meditate on the Lord doing such activities, because we find the Lord in leisure or in labor. Therefore, neglect neither labor nor leisure. 13. When vice is attacking you and temptation is attacking you, busy your hands and your mind when you are under this attack. If you fail to busy your mind, it won't matter whether your hands are busy or not, because all you'll be doing is contemplating your own failure. Do not do so. You must busy your mind as well. 14. Fast when the attacks are intense. Discipline is the rhythm of virtue, and fasting is necessary to maintain that rhythm. 15. Find awe. Find ways to make yourself feel small, very small, universally small. The smaller you feel, the more you know humility. We do not get to heaven by lording over a domain or taking control of our lives. We get to heaven by serving God. 16. Remember as a child when all you wanted was to make your father proud. Make your eternal Father proud with eternal merit. Eternal merit is what I said in number 11, which was chasing silent victories. Those victories only witnessed by your guardian angel. And by the other angels, of course. 17. Charity is spilling over that which you have aplenty. All of us are barren in some way. Do not worry if you're barren in some way. All of us have it. But some of us are verdant. Share that which makes you verdant. Now this is a weird little anecdote, but it applies. One day, a teacher decided to blow a bunch of balloons and put a name of one of her students on each of the balloons. Now, she told the kids to retrieve the balloon out of a pile with their name on it. The problem is that when they all pursued the balloon with their own name on it, it took them much longer. It took a long time. But when she told the kids, if you get a balloon with another kid's name on it, just give it to that kid and help him accomplish what he needs to accomplish. And it took much less time. And this is a good lesson for us, that what we have in abundance may not be something that benefits us, but it will come to the benefit of someone else. The more you benefit others, the quickly you'll come to your own benefit. And this is why we can never forget our sense of charity. 18. Your purpose isn't to write a best-selling novel or to have children. These are choices. Your purpose is to listen to the Eternal Father. And this is something else in itself. Because if you truly want to know yourself, you have to know God, because He knows more about you than you ever will. 19. When something is difficult, exhausting your strength, fighting it, is to your merit, even if you lose. You do not lose any fight in which you fought to the bitter end to try to win. Just because you're on the losing side of it does not mean you lost. Exhausting your strength is to your merit again. 20. God only lets demons attack you and tempt you because He believes in you. All you have to do is believe in Him. And we show Him the measure of our belief by exhausting our strength for Him, by fighting. 21. Always look for silence when distracted. Even if your thoughts are too loud, look to silence that by working both your hands and your mind. If you cannot find silence, there will not be much hope for you. 22. Life presents us with infinite doors as we walk a straight path. Now, when we look through each of those doors, they'll present us with an alternative life. They'll cause us to dream, which is why dreaming can be dangerous. When we dream of these alternate lives, they can lure us in like sirens singing a song. We do not want to listen to any alternative. There is only one door we need to go through, and that's the one at the very end of the hallway. Do not deviate your path. Loving God is the straight path. 23. God loves Mary, the woman, the most. If we love her the most, think about this. This gives us something in common with God. We connect with God because we both love her the most. Therefore, we should thrive to love our mother, our spiritual mother, the most out of all things.